Today is the VO2 max testing results from a female in her 20s that is very athletically inclined. There are two major reasons why I would run a VO2 max test in my practice. One is for my fitness desiring goals to help support my athletes in practice, or even my athletes that are non-competitive athletes but athletes at heart, to support them for where their cardiovascular goals are in their fitness training. The second reason I would run a VO2 max test is with patients that are seeking weight loss support. We can calculate from a VO2 max test desired zone 2 ranges to support them in their increased fat metabolism. You'll see at the upper area at the top here where this gal was able to start her heart rate at the beginning of her test at 75 beats per minute. Her aerobic threshold was at 132 beats per minute. Anaerobic threshold 177 beats per minute, and then when she completed her testing at the very end, her heart rate was at 185 beats per minute. Her total score for VO2 max was a 59.9. You can see that this is a score of in the superior, which I did tell you she was highly athletic, and I would agree with where her output was, that she was very fit and scoring very well for her age and for her fitness level. What you will see in the middle range here are heart rates based on the calculations for the software used for this program. I've created adjusted ranges, even though this person is in peak fitness, not looking for any fat loss in her journey at this time. I've adjusted these ranges as if she was looking for a fat loss journey, because that's often where I'm making manipulations for the heart rates. And right here at 103 to 139 beats per minute would be her recalculated range for zone 2. And I will show you in the next few pages here why I came up with those numbers. I've then just adjusted her zone 1, zone 3, 4, and 5 based off of where I calculated zone 2 here to create her target ranges that she can now use in her fitness metrics if she so chooses. On this page here, I want to acclimate you. This blue line here is increasing heart rate over time. She brought this test to about 15 minutes before she reached her ultimate end inability to continue to go any further. The green line here is the increase in ventilation of oxygen, and then the red line is the increase in CO2 that's produced as a byproduct from consuming oxygen in her exercise. On this next page, the blue line still represents her heart rate. Then what you will see is this VE to VO2, which is the green line here. You see with increased exercise or duration, well, initially there's a little bit of a fall, but as she reaches her anaerobic threshold, that value starts to rise over time. And this is really the measurement of her body's ability to breathe efficiently during her exercise. The red line is the ventilation, and then ultimately the CO2. What we really are aiming for is the lower the better for this VE to VO2, and that means that she would be the most efficient when it comes to exercise. And then when this number is lower, that means that she's more effective at eliminating CO2 as the byproduct from her lungs during her exercise movement. This page here is very data comprehensive. I will acclimate you that over time, these are the different stages that were measured. You'll see her heart rate is increasing. And actually, there is a second page here. There's more data down here. We will reach that in a little bit here. You'll see the speed and also the incline on the treadmill that was used for during her exercise. And then we start measuring VO2 in different unit metrics, and also start coming into the percent of how much carbohydrate and fat was utilized during each segment of this particular test. This is how I calibrated where her zone 2 markers were. If I look at how many fat grams here are burning per minute, the highest she reaches at 0.7. This is when she's maximizing her effort for burning fat. If we come back here at 0.4, she was burning 0 for carbohydrates. And come back over here, she was at 103 beats per minute. Now I ended her zone 2 at 139 beats per minute. And if we come across here, what you'll see is she's maximally burning her fat and she's starting to burn her carbohydrates for fuel. I'm going to show you on the next couple pages here, actually this page in particular. This graph here is a little bit easier of a representation as to why we would choose where the heart rate zones are when we're looking for determining how we're maximizing our fat burning. Here at 103 beats per minute, she's burning exclusively fat. At 128 beats per minute, she's still nearly burning 100% fat with very little carbohydrate. And when we come to 147 beats per minute, she's fairly balanced between fat and carbohydrates. And so that truly represents that she's shifting into higher zones. Overall, she did a wonderful job, and I hope that you found this information useful.